morning, everybody. Good morning. It is Thursday. Welcome to Confessions of an Ex-Scientologist with me, Liz Gale, your friendly and messy third generation ex-cult member. And like we have been doing on this channel, I got a friend on today and we are going to chat. You guys might be familiar with Joy Vila. She will introduce herself here in a second. But I just want to, before she comes on, let you guys know that we are kindred spirits in our art, in our passion, in a way of our lives where we express ourselves and find joy. And so that's what we're talking about today. And I'm hoping we end the week with some good vibes and positivity. Without any further ado, I will bring Joy on. Hello,
Liz, Gale.
welcome.
Double for in my book, in my phone book, in my life. You're Liz, Gale.
They say that a person has to hear your name 7 times before they buy your book. So boom, there's 2 times out of the way. Oh, that's awesome. Funny. Yes. So, Joy, before we dive into all of our rabbit holes and conversation, do you want to tell people who you are a little bit? Yeah, that'd be great.
My name is Joy Vila. I am an ex-Scientologist. I was in Scientology for 15 years. I just left a little over 2 years ago. I had to escape. I was high ranking, clear, OT preps, trained class 5 auditor. I put $2 million into Scientology. I joined the Sea Org for a short time. I worked for Scientology and I escaped and found Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. And now I expose Scientology. I talk about its harmful effects, how it is a cult, how it abuses children and adults alike. And I'm also an artist, #1 Billboard singer, creator. I paint, I draw. So I love Liz. She's my art sister. And I've toured 40 countries now. And I just love speaking, helping heal. And I started my nonprofit organization, the Fearless Joy Foundation.org, where we help trafficking victims and cult and high coercion group survivors.
Wow, you sound like one busy lady, to be honest.
Yes, ma'am.
I love that. I love that. Something you did was very special to me lately, and I kind of want to throw your Grammy dress up on the screen. I think we're just going to go in fast here. Did you guys all see this when this happened? How do I do this? Hold on. Don't take you off. There we go. Did you guys see this?
Yes.
This outfit? And I've seen many of your outfits before, Joy. But this is your first Scientology related. I don't want to say outfit. That's the wrong word. It's not a gown. What do we ensemble? That's probably
it is an ensemble. I love that. Yes. Ensemble. So I got to explain it too.
Please.
Because you have a connection to this outfit, a very, very clear one. So which we'll reveal. So keep listening, listeners. Joy Tribe. What's up, my Joy Tribe? I have not been online for a while. And so this is like my first back for like eight weeks, something like that. I haven't been doing live.
Right. Maybe you should.
Yeah. So of course, for Liz, I'm like, yes, I'll be on your show. But I got to explain the outfit if you put it back up there, because then people can see the visual. So the hat. So I created this look myself because no stylist would do it. And so I prayed, I meditated, I fasted, I as I do now, living the life of just like surrender, like what message should I have? It's got to be in love. It's got to be in the right vein of things. And of course, I'm there for attention. People are like, oh, you do the right. Of course, everybody's there for attention. I just want attention for my beliefs. And so I do this red carpet activism. So this bodysuit I customized. It says Scientology kills on the cover. And I put pearls on it to make it glam. And it's a space suit because L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology, was all about space people, galaxies.
Yeah.
And so I did kind of an 80s look spacesuit with a very bright blue and the hot pink. That's why it's 80s colors. So I did design. I have a big background in fashion. Most people don't know, but this is my design. And then the hat, I put the flowers in. It's just feminine. It's beautiful. I love flowers. I love hats. I ordered the hat and then I customized it. And so the blue is akin to the big blue building in Los Angeles. That L. Ron
Okay.
Hubbard purposely chose that blue. For people who don't know, he had them paint it this exact blue that he found in session, right? That's what the lore goes to. And the pink jacket is faux fur. On the inside are a representation. It's not all 200, but there are 200 names of people who were trafficked, killed, abused in Scientology, who died in Scientology, that the one and only Liz Gale put together on her website. These names are exactly, people have asked me, can I link to the names? Is it lizgale.com, right?
Yeah, there's a dash, Liz-Gale.
liz-gale.com. And those are the people who died in Scientology. And that's why Scientology kills. And on the back, it says Jesus heals, because he healed me of my depression, my anxiety. I mean, I still go through life. I still go through grief. I take it one day at a time. Very honest about that, very real. But it's a much better life. Oh my gosh, I'm free. I'm finally free of this demonic witchcraft, which I know we're going to talk about, Roots, this really sick organization, which is not just a kooky belief system, but it is a dark, insidious cult that has many, many ties to what we see in the news now. So yeah, that's it. That's the outfit. And it was a big hit at the Grammys. Praise God. I'm so glad. And I talked about it. I was like, yeah, Scientology kills. And a lot of people actually said, I don't like your other outfits, but I like this one. Or they said, this one, wow. Like a lot more people at the Grammys themselves were pointing it out and taking pictures with me, which is really good to see because of the activism. So Scientology is dying because of activists, former Scientologists like yourself, revealing the death toll and the pain and trauma toll that Scientology has inflicted on their own members. The third generation Scientologists been through it. And yeah, we gotta get rid of this organization. That's my goal.
Yeah, well, that's a big goal. I'm hearing the words. Give me an action plan, and I'm right behind you.
Yeah. I think this statements, and people are saying, what statement? That's awesome. I see all the beautiful comments. I think that you doing what you're doing, the activism, doing, with so many different people, Apostate Alex, all of the other people that are out there, there's so many activists, Tony Ortega, they are exposing Scientology for what it is. And people are listening because Gen Z, we're millennials, right? But Gen Z, millennials, of course, we started the internet. I mean, did we? We made it what it is. But Gen Z is living on the internet. They've grown up completely with internet. And before you do anything, you Google it or you chat GPT it, right?
Yeah.
And Scientology now has so much correct, I don't want to say bad press, but correct press.
Right.
That I do believe this is what is destroying Scientology, because there's YouTubers out there with millions of followers who are not even ex-Scientologists, who are now like taking a look at it and going, oh, wow, this place is sick. Let's interview ex-Scientologists. Let's expose it. Thank God. Because when I got in 15 years ago, there was nothing online except for a few, not even Reddit posts, but weird back end ex-Scientology forums that didn't look legit because nobody's real name or face was there. Now you see real ex-Scientologists telling you our experiences. You'd have to be a fool to get into it now. I don't want to just say fool because we were in it. You'd have to be victimized and pressured by your family, or you really didn't even Google it. Because even I Googled it back then. And I never would victim blame because we're victims of this horrible cult. But you'd have to be a Scientologist to think and be so unaware of all the bad press. Because even in Scientology, I was aware of the bad press, but I was in it and it was kind of too late. Now you can see it and it's gonna deter people. I believe that. I believe we can limit the amount of people that are going into this cult because they need to be destroyed. Their IRS tax exempt status needs to be taken away. I have sent messages to the White House and got acknowledged on that. So we'll see. I'm hopeful. It may not be in our lifetime. Actually, it can be in our lifetime. We're very young. It will be in our lifetime. Let's say it.
Yeah, I'm sure it will be. They have a lot of things that if were exposed, I think they would easily lose their tax exemption. So it's just a question of when, I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did actually not know the lore that L. Ron Hubbard, the founder of Scientology, was doing some kind of auditing counseling and came up with this specific blue
Yeah.
to
Yeah, you
paint.
didn't hear that? Yeah,
I
that's
did
what they tell
not
us.
know that. And that's the color that you nailed it with the color of
Thank
this.
you.
I don't even know where you find something like this. So specific.
I know, I had to look a lot.
I love
Um,
it.
yeah, that's the lore. I don't know if it was exactly that it was in session he came up with it or he just had a revelation,
Right.
but they told us because I studied there and at
Mhm.
Celebrity Center, I was a Los Angeles Scientologist and a South African Scientologist and a UK East Grinstead, this, the mother place Scientologist and a Flag, Florida, Scientologist. I studied around the world and in Denmark. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been to 40 countries. I studied Scientology probably in 20 of them, at least
Wow.
visiting Scientology and seeing Scientologists in those countries. They all knew me and I would take pictures and like, oh yeah, I'm here and, support the org as I would tour for music and film. And, yeah, this is the lore that he came up with this blue. Oh yeah, because I did the Sea Org training at the Big Blue Building. That's when they told me. They're
Okay.
like, yeah, this blue, L. Ron Hubbard came up with it. It was very his specific thing. And they always make it like it's a whole track spiritual,
Right.
like, oh
You're
wow.
gonna
And
go
everyone's
clear
going,
faster with this blue
yes, this
cloud.
is
Yeah.
clear blue.
Yeah.
OT
That's
blue.
funny. I always just thought they had like a big sale. There was just an overstock of blue paint and they got a good deal because they're cheap.
It's so ugly for a building, fabulous for a bodysuit. I have to say, I think my body was tea there and the outfit was great.
Yeah,
I'm
you
really
look
happy
good.
with it. But for a building, I always thought I would look at it and go, really? There's a spiritual significance to this blue? Like this is the ugliest, most garish color for a
Right.
building.
That's the justification for the
Yeah,
blue. It has to come
exactly.
with some kind of
Not the
justification.
blue.
There you go. There's a question in the chat. The question is, were you surprised about global numbers at the orgs? Which I guess I'll kind of reword to like, what was the impression you got out there that Scientology was
Oh,
booming or not booming? Or I'm going to take
yes.
this picture off, but
Oh
I
my
want to bring
God.
it back up in a second.
That's a great question. Yes. Okay. So, yeah. So Scientologists are told that when I was in there, because I recently left, so I was there for the big GAT2, which was Golden Age of Technology 2, which is like their big redo, and they got all the suppressive people out, and now it's like clean and ready, and we're going to go OT even faster. And oh, by the way, you do have to redo all your training. Luckily, I came in at that period, right before
Right.
that period. I never trained, but people who had to do thousands and thousands, it costs at least $10,000 to $20,000 to do training, right? Just for training. That's not going clear. That's just your training. Usually around 10K, depending on how often you do it. And those people had to redo it when they came in. So all those people came in, and then I was told that we now have millions of Scientologists. I was told at that time around the world that it's so great. Every time we run a Super Bowl ad, there's millions of hits on the website. There's all these numbers are so inflated that you really do believe. And they were like, oh my gosh, we're in Colombia now. We brought the police department down with with the way to happiness. So crime went down because the police department are using the way to happiness. And all of this propaganda that we're told. And then we're in South Africa, which is the next great boom. And then I was there, and I would say we would have an event and there would be 100 people. I led events with 100 people there. I was the leader of many of those events when I was on staff in South Africa in Division 6. So I was getting people in, I was organizing it. I was the PES, which is the Public Exec Secretary.
That's what I was too.
Yeah, PES girl. Oh, they love beautiful women who have big personalities, who are friendly. They're like, you're PES.
Yeah.
And it's an executive position. And, and it's ridiculous how they put people in executive positions that don't have any training, but they just say,
I was 19. I didn't know what the hell I was doing.
And you smile and have a good personality.
Yeah.
It's like, they inflate it. They're like, hey, listen, you've been a Scientologist, hold track. You can remember it. And then they put a teenage girl right? Barely an adult, like legally an adult 18, but like your prefrontal cortex
Yeah.
hasn't even formed.
Yeah.
And
Right.
you're an executive in for
Yep.
people's spiritual health and wellness. Like, and but no, but psychiatrists and psychologists have it wrong. Even then those people go, they do
Right.
8 years, 12 years of school, they have to have medical degrees. No, but they are the liars. They are pulling
Yep.
your leg because we just grabbed this 19-year-old and we put her off the street into this, and she's your
Right.
executive. And
That's right. I was
but
a
we're
past life Scientologist though, so I had it. I'm
yeah, oh
good to
yeah.
go. Good to go.
You remembered your past lives,
That's
trillions of
right.
years.
That's right.
Like Xenu didn't get you that bad, so you
That's
were
right.
good, girl.
Xenu didn't get me. I squirted by.
Yeah, she was like slip by
Can't
Xenu.
get me
So
like
she was one of
Matrix.
those, they had this thing in the 60s when Scientology came out with Dianetics in the 1950s, and then they had this thing called past life clear. Do you remember that? They played it down.
Yeah. Yeah.
But people come back and they're like, I was clear in a past life. So they get
Yes.
passed right through. I used to
Right.
go, maybe that's me. But they didn't do that in my day. They stopped doing that. They stopped doing some of the kookier things because I think they learned through the 80s and 90s, like, okay,
Yeah.
too many people leave. But they still told me, oh, you're Black and you're an artist, so we want you in the Sea Org, like straight up like that. And then they're like, are you Muslim? And I said, excuse me. And I was so offended at that time. And I wouldn't be offended if you say this now, but I would be like, oh, no, I'm not. But I mean, as a young 22-year-old coming off, whatever. And I came to the big blue building because I was at Celebrity Center, very artistic for artists and creatives, and then I went to I was not a celebrity. Nobody knew who I was. And I came to the big blue building. It's in Los Angeles. They're within pretty walking distance, a couple miles. And, they said, are you Muslim? This guy said it, David Light. His name is David Light. I wrote reports on him within Scientology because then I worked with him in the Sea Org, and I wrote another report because he's like, oh, you're smarter than you look. And he literally looked me up and down. I mean, this guy was disgusting. Gross. He was white-haired, probably in his late 50s, 60s. Very sexually suggestive and would look girls like I was 22 and he's looking at me like I'm a piece of meat. But before I went in the Syria, and he had no recollection that it was me. That was the funniest thing. I was like, you don't know that like 2 years, a year ago, I was here, and he's just a scumbag.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, I'm going to report him because in Scientology we don't stand for that. You think that you're making a change within the group because L. Ron Hubbard has all these policies written, and if you actually ran Scientology by Scientology standards, a lot of things would be much better run than they are, right? Like some of his standards were like for group dynamics, like social, like pretty good, right? Don't lie, and don't litter, like all of these morals. But the Bible says whitewashed tombs. Oh, ye hypocrites. Jesus said to the Pharisees, you are like whitewashed tombs, clean and white on the outside, but you have dead man's bones on the inside. Oh, that is Scientology. That's
a very dramatic description.
Isn't it good?
It's definitely fits the bill. Yeah.
Yeah. Whitewashed tombs. I mean, Jesus attacked the religious groups and dynamics, Pharisees, more than he ever did the prostitutes, the liars, the thieves. He said, hey, go and sin no more. You come all ye who are heavy burdened laden, I will give you rest. He offered relief for those. But the Pharisees, the religious leaders, which Scientology, it considers themselves a religious leader, he was turning over those tables and saying, you hypocrites, you snakes, you brood of vipers, woe to you.
And we need a little table turning over.
We do
in our upper echelons these days.
Yeah.
Miss Sunrise Dawn, thank you. I'm not sure who became a member of, which one, but thank you so much.
Support this channel. Liz is awesome. I'm streaming on my channel too, which I'll get back
that's why
support.
I wasn't sure which one this is for. I have an art supporter membership. It's like $1.50 on my channel. Very inexpensive. Show me some love. But that's really interesting that you say that. I've always felt like, because I've said it a million times, I'm not political. I've always felt like your message in particular is so important because there's this lie that you can be a Christian or any religion really, and be a Scientologist. And I know in my heart that once you get to, and from experience, that there are certain levels in Scientology that you have to pick. You're not, there's
Yes.
only one source.
Yes.
L. Ron Hubbard is source, which means that
Period.
he
With a
trumps
capital S.
everything. Yeah.
Yep.
And so when I see Scientology out there, like getting a foothold into the world, I think it's through that lens of that you can be a Christian and be a Scientologist. And I
Mhm.
don't know how to break that spell. I don't know, but
It
I
is
feel
a
like it's very
spell.
important. Yeah. Well,
Yes.
it is definitely a spell. Um, yeah, let's talk about spells. What's your
Yes.
what do you see when you look
Well,
at Scientology? Like,
one thing I want to say before we do
yeah,
that is I didn't properly
what would it
answer
be?
that first question because I said, okay, millions. I thought there were millions of people. And in reality, there's what, 20,000 people in Scientology.
Oh,
And
that's
I
right.
found out that because I asked a Sea Org member, I was trying to get into the Sea Org again
Right.
in the UK, and they were trying to get me in the Sea Org. And I was like, this is the answer to all my pain and suffering. And I just got to join the Sea Org, just erase myself. I'm not joy. I'm number 5. Like, oh, just let me be in the Sea Org. Like I thought I was going through a mental crisis. I was going
Yeah.
through a breakdown, really, truly a mental breakdown, a nervous breakdown. And that's what eventually led me out of Scientology after 15 years. And if I was in, I would have offed myself. There's just no way. If I was still in Scientology, I would have offed myself either by overwork, exhaustion. I would have got sick, or I would have actually done something. But I was decaying mentally, emotionally, and physically. It was pure torture. That's what Scientology does to you. But they told me there are 7,000 staff members worldwide. That's
Okay.
Sea Org plus staff. I said, are you kidding me? He said, yeah, the biggest problem Scientology has right now isn't a staff problem. That's the only reason we're not growing. This is from a high-ranking Sea Org member in the UK at East Grinstead.
Mhm.
And to me being a high-ranking Scientologist, proved, had statuses and all this stuff, millions donated, all this stuff. And so this was like, behind closed doors that they wouldn't admit, of course. And I said, are you serious? He was a recruiter. And he said, yeah, 7,000 members. And so if
Wow.
7,000 members of Scientology, that's including Sea Org members around the world plus staff,
Wow.
how many could there possibly be that are members of Scientology that don't work for Scientology? Maybe 7,000, maybe 10,000 more. I
Right.
used to go to the world event. This is the Worldwide International Association of Scientologists event that they put on in East Grinstead every year. I would go every year. Before I was at St. Hill, I would go there when I was in Los Angeles. Me and my ex-husband would fly out. Very lofty, very bougie. You have the patrons ball where you meet David Miscavige and you're honored on stage. I would probably tell you, and this is worldwide, people are invited to this, and there's a lot of rich Scientologists. Obviously, you're forced to be rich. Rich is really, you're not really rich. You just make a lot of money and you donate half of it to Scientology. So you're forced to work for Scientology, whether you work in it or out of it, which every
Right.
Scientologist is forced to do that. You will mortgage your house. You will give up your child's school fund. You will sell your car, whatever you have to do to go OT. You will take
Mhm.
out loans. So much of it. I was hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. You will
Ugh.
take out loans. So it's an illusion of rich. It's really
Right.
living on borrowed money. And every
Mhm.
celebrity even is doing that too, because they all have bills, like these rappers that get these $1 million contracts, right? We know in the music industry, I know that happens all the time. You're called nouveau riche. You're not really rich because that
Right.
lobster trip now you got to pay your team. And by the end of it, your $10 million is gone in
Right.
4 years. And people think,
Right.
how could you look at your recent lotto winners? They're usually broke within 5 years,
Yeah.
So it's that same principle. And Scientology doesn't care. They tell you it's spiritual, money is energy, and you just,
Mhm.
got to postulate it and then give it to us and you invest in us. Spiritually, you'll get there. And so I believe
Earth
all of that.
credits. That's what we called it.
What do you call
Money.
it?
Earth credits.
Earth credits?
Earth credits. Money is earth credits.
I never
Have you
heard
ever
that
heard
in
that? Yeah. Must be a
Scientology.
Portland thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So you're saying that their numbers are hugely inflated.
Oh,
That even at the
hugely,
top, they could barely fill a room
hugely.
and they should have a lot more. And
No,
everybody
there
looks
was
like they're doing
probably,
well, but they're just pumping their money right through them like a
yeah,
conduit just to feed the
there was
church
less
machine.
than, there's probably 3 to 5,000 people tops at their yearly events pre-COVID. Right.
Wow.
And then they just had a post-COVID event there. I wasn't there, obviously, but 3 to 5,000 people tops. And I would go year after year and the numbers would not change. So
Hmm.
how can you have 7,000 Sea Org and staff members, which are the most
Right.
dedicated Scientologists? They're in it to win it, usually third generation, second generation. I was staff member, I was first generation. You're in it to win it because you have to sign those contracts for years. If your Sea Org, it's a billion-year contract, right? You sign your life away there. And then the new people that they bring in, and that's not even filling a stadium. They can't ever, if you have millions of people, if you have 100,000 members worldwide, you fill a stadium regularly.
Right.
That event is always on campus.
Right.
In a tent holding, again, 3,000 to 5,000 people. That's including the staff running the whole place. Ridiculous.
Dang.
No,
Yeah.
they
So
don't know people.
they be lying. They be lying.
Oh, somebody just talked about David Lights. This is amazing.
Yes, Blow Drill is Dylan. I don't know if you guys have ever connected. He's an ex-Scientologist. He's modding today, and he knows he was in the Sea Org very high up. You guys should chat sometime.
I would love to
Thank you,
chat.
And thank you, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I just want to acknowledge
and
those
that member was a
memberships.
member of your channel, by the way. She just clarified.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah, join Liz's channel. She's freaking putting in the work.
Oh, well, I have been coming on here at 9 o'clock Monday through Friday. No, Monday through Thursday. And
oh my God,
it's not as easy as I thought it was going to be.
Girl, I used to do that. That was what I was doing for the last year. It's tough. Take care of yourself. You need a break. Your fans will understand. You need a mental health break, or just record something, pre-record and put it up.
We're only like week 3, and we're still trying to figure out what we're doing here. I'm not like a serious interviewer type. I'd rather just have coffee with people and
conversation,
chat. Yeah.
It's so good.
We've done some fun stuff around here, but yeah, it's been interesting. I do want, because I get all over the place, I do want to pull the dress up one more time before we end this conversation on the dress really quick.
Sorry, we have so many open cycles.
I know. That's a me thing. Just
somebody said I haven't spoken to Amir. He left Edinburgh org. I was at Edinburgh. I did a teaching event there. I have not spoken to him. I'd love to. Anyone can reach out to me. Please reach out to me.
Do you know who Amir is?
No.
So I prefer this, but I'm going back to this. Alex, Apostate Alex, you know that, but other people, he's an ex-Scientologist from the UK. He interviewed a current Scientologist. Amir was a current Scientologist. He was an executive at the Edinburgh org. And then after he did the interview, he got RPF'd essentially. And he got got into a bunch of trouble, and he left. He was not born in Scientology. He'd only been in for like 2 or 3 years. Thank goodness, because they didn't have that grip over him that they might have otherwise. And he still had resources like family and friends outside in order to help make that transition. Not that it was easy, but just thank goodness,
Thank goodness, yes.
Anyway, he's chatted with a lot of people. Maybe you guys, especially if you've
love to. joy@joyvila.com. My email's open. joy@joyvila.com.
I love that. Oh, you guys are being nice. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, Liz is amazing. No, she's been on my show. Yeah, coffee with Liz. Somebody said peace of mind. Yes.
That sounds good.
She loves your down-to-earth approach. Me too, because this is much better. I asked her, I said, what are we talking about? She's like, oh, that's a good question.
What do you want to talk about? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes there's very serious things to talk about, and that's great. But I find art and these conversations to be really healing, and I'm not all about coming out here and just sob storying every single day.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
No, it's too much. There's so much going on in the world too. And I know there's some Joy Tribers that were watching. Lovely chaos. Oh my gosh.
I don't know if I can see them here. You can shout yours out.
Thank you, Jojo. I will be coming back doing my live show. I've had a lot of things change in my life. And I was like, man, I should do a recap on my, Grammys dress. And, it would be easy, lots of views, and it's hot right now. But mentally and emotionally, it's nothing personal to people. I love you guys, Joy Tribe, and Liz will understand that too. It took a lot to do a daily show, encouraging others, giving out so much, which I love because I received so much love and encouragement from you. I'm still doing my ministry. I'm still doing my nonprofit, but I had to step back out of the spotlight and do some behind the scenes things and take some time. And I am pursuing a higher education. I have some big plans. Liz knows I'm not going to reveal it now, but watch the space. I will be coming back to at least doing a weekly show because I feel like I miss my online community. I miss my Joy Tribe, you know?
Yeah.
Have they
My
passed
dog is
it
being
to
so
you?
annoying. Give me 1 second to get
Okay, yeah.
something. Theo, you are the most annoying creature in the world
I'll
ever.
entertain everybody. Liz is stepping out to handle Theo, so I'll take your questions. Your questions. Yeah, I miss you guys. Thank you for JCL saying you understand. Yeah,
Sorry
become a
about
member of
that.
the channel. Yes, welcome
He
back.
has my number, I swear. He drives me crazy. Like a child. Okay. Sorry, I just distracted you from talking to your Joy
No,
crew.
it's okay. I was just chatting on people. Yes, I'm getting on my education. Yes, yes, I'm finishing up my bachelor's degree. I will reveal that. My bachelor's degree in psychology. I just changed it from biology. I was doing a bachelor's degree in biology, which I love biology, but
I didn't know
just
that.
yeah, I just changed it to psychology just because it'll be a little bit easier to finish up. I still have
Okay.
taken some biology, but it's there's a lot more requirements for that. That's going to take a lot more time. So yeah, I'm going back to college. JCL, this is an exclusive on Liz's channel. I have not said anything about this, but I feel so comfortable.
Oh, I love it. As much as you want to say or don't want to say, but that's very, very exciting. That's like a whole
Thank
new
you.
chapter.
It is. It is. I'm
That's gonna
really
bring a
excited.
lot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm going back to school. So it's a bachelor's of arts in psychology. I guess you could say I'm minoring in biology, majoring in
Okay.
psychology because I still have a lot of anatomy and biology courses that I've completed.
But not a
It's
Bachelor of Science then, but it's a Bachelor of
no,
Arts.
it's a Bachelor of Arts. Yeah, it's actually a
Interesting.
Bachelor of
Okay.
Arts. And so that I wondered that too. The difference is less sciencey and math courses.
Yeah,
Yeah, so and your final course you take, it's called a capstone, it will be more liberal arts, so it's
okay.
Bachelor of Arts. I kind of could, for my path, choose whatever I want, which is really great because I will be going to postgraduate school, which I'm not revealing what school or for what yet. People are asking, and I love that. Please become a member of my channel. Thank you, JoJo. I'll put
Yes.
in my link. Cognitive or behavioral. I'm studying behavioral psychology. I'm also studying neuropsychology too, which is the
Ooh.
brain, why the brain has neurological processes, like what prepositions behavioral things. So, like, is there actual something wrong in the brain, and why somebody is diagnosed autistic or diagnosed mentally ill? So
Mhm.
and that's very fascinating to me because there's a bit of a
Mhm.
neurology layover,
Mhm.
um, which is not looked at enough. Like, because a lot of people, okay, so in Scientology, we were told that psychiatrists are the bad guys, like Indians, cowboys and Indians, like
Right.
everyone needs a villain, like the Russians and, James Bond, like
Right.
that's psychiatrists and
Mhm.
psychologists right underneath them, right?
Mhm.
So we were told, and I used to read Psychology Today all the time. I loved human interaction as an actress. Behavior is a huge thing I've studied because I have to portray that on screen.
Yeah.
And even as a musician, you write about your behaviors. As an artist, you are a student of human behaviors, and you have to look at your own, especially as a performing artist, which I've been since I was 5.
Right.
At 10 years old, I knew I wanted to go into more of a concentration on psychology, psychiatry, just the mental health, because of my mom. She was diagnosed paranoid schizophrenic
Yep.
when she was 17. So I was raised with her and had a lot of traumatic things happen. I was in not a group home, but a foster home. I had my 8th birthday in a foster home, which was quite traumatic for me. But, I kind of pushed all these things aside, and then I went into Scientology, and they told me, oh, looking at that is bad unless you're in session, right, with us. And so then I
Mhm.
gravitated towards Dianetics. I became really good. I became a class 5 auditor, which is their version of a minister and a counselor and a therapist. It's the highest level
Mhm.
you can reach without joining the Sea Org. It doesn't translate to anything in the real world.
No, it doesn't.
I would have had a master's degree. I would have had a doctorate degree. 15
Right.
years. I would probably say I concentrate on studying probably about 4 years,
Okay.
but all of the things, if you combine it, it's at least 6 years worth of study. I'd probably say 6 years worth of
Yeah.
concentration plus clinical. And
Mm-hmm.
it translates to absolutely nothing in the real world. Now, those skills I still have, counseling, and I have studied counseling and do that with my clients for Joy Vila Fitness, which I probably will change the name to Joy Vila Health and Wellness, because we do a lot of counseling. And I love that. You can go to joyvilafitness.com if you're interested in being a client of mine, because we do fitness, nutrition. I'm a certified nutritionist and personal trainer. And so, do I want to do counseling? Yes. Yeah, I would have had a PhD. Exactly. I would have had a PhD.
Yeah.
Peace of mind says absolutely. Like
Mm-hmm.
even half assing it, I would have had
Right.
a PhD. But I
Well, they say
really studied.
10,000 hours is an expert.
Yeah.
So,
And so, it's someone said 2 years of philosophy is usually part of the path to get your BA in psych, I think. You do have to have, mind control is a different ball of wax with Scientology. Absolutely clear water.
yeah, it is.
It's different. I am studying behavioral. I'm actually studying also to get my certification to be a behavioral therapist, or
Okay.
a behavioral, it's not called a therapist because that's like the higher level. You have to have a master's for this. This is a behavioral technician to help with autistic people and
Okay.
other neurodivergent populations, because I want to get
Mhm.
clinical knowledge, more hands-on. And I used to have a special needs, she'll always be my stepdaughter, but unfortunately I can't talk to her because her mom's a Scientologist. But she was
Right.
my stepdaughter from my first marriage, and I raised her for 8 years since she was 8, and co-raised her with
Yeah.
her father and her mom. And she was severely autistic, and loved that little girl. Will always love her. And so I have all of this data that roams around in this head, and all this experience. And that's why I gravitated towards auditing, because I thought it's psychotherapy, it's talk therapy, it's helping
Right.
people, it's asking questions, and they find the solutions. And
Mhm.
that's why I'm choosing this path, truly. That's why I changed it from just biology, because I'm very much in the biology. I love biology. I love anatomy and
Mhm.
physiology. Studied it since I was 10, but went back to it recently. And but psychology is really what this is. I can do
Mhm.
a bit of a minor in the neurology and the biology behind mental illness. Do you truly have a lack of serotonin, or a lack of all these neurotransmitter
Right.
chemicals, or is it trauma? This is the questions that I want to answer. Like, because trauma can bring out a mental illness. Trauma
Mhm.
can cause mental illness.
Mhm.
PTSD is a mental diagnosis that is from trauma.
Yeah.
But is that a permanent thing? Because maybe your predisposition to have a mental
Mhm.
illness, then the trauma, right? You might have been essayed or
Mhm.
attacked, especially as a child. It's the trauma's worse, which every Scientologist has had trauma, especially growing up in Scientology. We all had trauma. It's always trauma. Piece of mind. It's always
Yeah.
trauma.
Trauma, trauma, trauma. Yep. It
Trauma,
is.
trauma, trauma. We all have trauma. There's
Yeah.
different degrees of trauma. There's also different degrees of resilience to trauma. You might
Mhm.
have been trafficked, human trafficked. I was sex trafficked. I was also SA'd at 4 years old, right? And that might have destroyed a different person. They might have not been able to leave their room and now have to be on psycho, therapy and drugs
Mhm.
to even relate to the world, while somebody else could have had those things happen and they are high functioning, right?
Mhm.
So the word high functioning autistic, I'm just not just talking about autistic diagnosis, but because I'm studying it, it's fresh in my mind, is
Mhm.
now not the word anymore, because you're not a high functioning autistic or even a high functioning schizophrenic. You are a low accommodation autistic, a low accommodation schizophrenic.
I
And even
see.
if you don't have a mental illness, you could say you have trauma, you have lower accommodations. But guess
I
what? We
see.
all need accommodations. Like some people, I started learning
Yeah.
about this, knowing like I'm neurodivergent. I'm sure you're neurodivergent. We're not neurotypical. If
Right.
you're an artist, you're not
Yeah.
neurotypical.
Yeah.
You already see the world differently than
Right.
most people. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're starting to see that accommodations could mean you have to wear headphones, you have to wear sunglasses in public,
Mhm.
right? There's different spectrum. Obviously, it's a spectrum. Neurodivergence is a spectrum. It's not all,
Mhm.
rocking back and forth, can't make eye contact, right?
Right.
And it's not all psycho, having psychotic episodes and you're violent. That's not all mental illness. That's not all,
Right.
neurodivergence. So some people just, they have to take space. they can't be outside for a long time, and it's okay for them to say, I'm going to leave this social function early. So I'm
Right.
studying the whole thing because I'm realizing I'm a part of that spectrum. I never acknowledged it. Scientology would not let me. I remember
Right.
training to ask for help, and they're like, no, you're just hold track, you're clear, you're OT press completion, you're superpower, you're all three L's. You have to function as a Scientologist, and it's not about God, it's not about you, it's not about it's about Scientology. You represent, and it was constant, constant, constant. So I
Yeah.
never was allowed to explore that. Yeah, I'm a little weird. That's okay. Most are.
Yeah.
This perfection idea, and not
Right.
everybody's weird, right? Not everything is a mental illness. Like, oh man, I like movies, I have to watch movies all the time, I'm probably neurodivergent. No, you probably just like movies. It's okay to be a normal person just like movies. Like on the
Yeah.
flip side, it's like trendy or cool, it's romanticized to have some sort of, I'm neurodivergent, I'm not like other girls kind of thing. It's also not that, right? We want to stay away
Yeah.
from
I get what you're
extremes.
saying.
So
I'm
anyways,
see I,
long thing.
no, you're good. That is fascinating. And I'm definitely like so excited to hear what you learn and where you go with all this.
Yeah.
Um, One thing I'm really interested in, and I hope that maybe you'll keep in the back of your head, and if you come across this in your studies, you can tell me. I don't think there's ever been a study about the e-meter and the long-term use of an e-meter
Ooh.
on like brains, or I don't know the right words, but brain chemistry, electrical,
Yeah. Yeah.
especially for developing children. Um, some people who are in session, you'll be in session for like a full-time job, 40 hours a week for weeks at a time, and you do have electricity going through your body for a lot of that. And you're being given commands. So I'd be curious too as to that added ingredient of the e-meter, how it
That's such
affects
a good idea. That's
neuro
oh my
stuff.
gosh, you're actually inspiring me. I knew God wanted me to talk about this with you. I only trust Liz with my inner dark secrets here. She's
Well, you said capstone. I'm like, the problem with that is I don't think that you can really scour peer-reviewed journals to get the information. You have
No,
to do the study
I need to
yourself.
write that journal and
Yeah,
submit it. Honestly, I've
exactly.
written articles on nutrition and mental illness and that
Right.
corresponding health because that's one of the biggest things. If I were to ever become a higher level doctor, I would prescribe nutrition and
Oh,
exercise.
yeah.
Yes, mental illness and trauma, right? I'm looping all of this mental
Mhm.
illness, trauma, neurodivergency, all of these
Mhm.
subpar, you could say different able type of mental things,
Mhm.
all of it is treated with astounding results by exercise and nutrition. That's not the only thing, right?
Right.
It's multifaceted. You don't just go, I'm going to go to the gym, that's going to fix it. Because I see a lot of people like that in the gym and they are crazy. They just have a fit body, or I'm going to eat healthy, I'm going to fix it. No, you can still
Right.
be crazy. You just eat really healthy, right? So you
Right.
have to make sure, and this is for everybody, because everybody has trauma to some degree and we're all running from it. We're all not aware of our traumas. You don't know what you don't know. That's what I'm learning. And I
Mhm.
would write, I'm actually going to write that down.
Yeah,
That,
you write it down.
because
Do it.
I've submitted for the Journal of Lifestyle
Okay.
Health articles about mental health and fitness because
Mhm.
I've done studies because I have real world access to that with my clients, right? And then we
Yeah.
do the counseling, talk therapy as part of Joy Villa Fitness is part of it, of course, because it's usually multifaceted. I'm a holistic nutrition,
Right.
so it's holistic. It's body, mind, spirit, soul. But the e-meter, if I wrote that and maybe submitted it, I could get published on that, and that
Heck
needs
yeah,
to be done. That's a research article for sure.
it is. I have a resource of somebody who I can't honestly, they changed their username, so I wanna say it's Scientology Crimes now. No, that's not it. I'm gonna get it wrong. Anyway, I'll send they know everything on their channel. They not about the result the response of it, but, like, all the electricity, how it works, all kinds of it's the most, information on the topic I've seen, so I'll send that to you. I
Ooh.
want to acknowledge this. Thank you. That is a very
Yeah,
interesting name.
that's Slow Mandicary. That's my joy
There
triber.
you go. This might
Oh,
be for you. That's wonderful.
$5. Thank you.
That's so
Awesome. I just
great.
got paid for speaking about this. I'm already a pro.
Oh, good. There you go. Perfect. That's so
Awesome.
exciting. There's so much more that needs to happen. I think also I think Leah Remini also did her psychology.
Oh, she did? Because I know she went back to
Yeah,
school.
I think it was for psychology. I mean, that's what needs
Awesome.
to happen, right, to
That's what needs
make
to happen.
the
Yes,
difference.
she should be a clinical psychologist. She should get all the degrees, all of the access, and counsel and teach and write books and do that, because we need more women in
Yeah,
this field. We need more women who've been through incredible trauma to speak
right.
out. The most underserved population for trauma is women of all
Yeah,
genders, or excuse me, genders, of all races. Women are not speaking out. Men either. Men also don't speak out a lot, especially being essayed. But so many women are in abusive situations and relationships, and they just say, well, I have to take it. It's just normal. Even in this day and age,
I
it's
know.
still, and so many
Happening
women
every
don't.
day.
Yeah, they just go, oh, they don't realize that that's trauma, because a lot of women are used to they have a lot of resilience. It goes back to what I was talking about. Some people can be essayed over and over again, and they go about their business because they have to, right? They're
Yeah,
a mom. They can't take time off from work. They got to go.
right.
They got to do this. Things still need to be done. And those people are seen as, oh, they're just able-bodied, they're normal, they've never been through anything. Someone could look at you and I and see our smiling faces, our clean eyes, and say, oh, they're fine. No, we've just been through so much that
Yeah,
at a certain point, it either makes or breaks you. And
yeah,
I want for everybody who's been through struggles, I'm very open with my struggles, I'm very open with my past, not to be ashamed of sharing those struggles. That is your testimony
right.
of what you can do, what you can get through, and what God can bring you through. That is nothing to
Mhm.
be ashamed about. And do not go and think that you're worthless because of that. No. And then now weaponize it in a good way by getting an education, by getting out there, because now people will listen to you. And I'm proud
Yeah,
of Leah Remy. I don't know her personally. I wish I did. Because she's the one who really got me when I started watching her show. I was like, oh my goodness. And they used to tell me when I was in Scientology, um, OSA, I would talk to OSA a lot. They were always on my ass, even in Scientology, Office of Special Affairs and ethics. They'd say, oh, Leah Remini's, she's doing horrible in life. And I'd go and I'd say, she just won her second Emmy. I wouldn't say that out loud, but I
right,
would think, she just won
right.
an Emmy. You can't be doing that bad if you're
Yeah,
winning an Emmy. I'm sorry. She's doing excellent. And now her going after a degree. Yes, girl.
yeah.
Yes. All of us should. You have degrees, don't you?
I mean, I have an associate's and a bachelor's, so a 2-year, and then I got my 4-year. Yeah, I went a
Yeah.
little bit different route. I went the child and family studies, like child development. I took a lot of
Yeah.
psychology and sociology, but
Yeah.
um, people could go on from my degree to get a clinical a clinical master's, whatever the next step is for
Yeah.
counseling, family counseling, or social work.
Awesome,
Um,
awesome.
I honestly, I thought about continuing my education. I came
You
this far,
should.
you know.
I think you
Um,
should, because you have a natural knack for it, and now you have a social media presence, which actually helps.
it
Um,
does.
yeah, you're doing this every day. You're
Yeah.
literally counseling people from afar. That's what
I just
this
haven't
is.
found my path yet, I think. I don't really think of myself as having credible knowledge to impart on people. Like, I
Mm,
don't think of myself as an expert, and I actually get weird about it, because the more somebody says that they know how to make somebody happy or, like, live this great, shiny, sparkly life, the more
yeah,
I tend to mistrust them. Like,
yeah,
I need a little bit of that mess for the person to make sense, like, maybe it's character development, I'm not really sure, but
yeah, but
I haven't found my truest path yet, so it's really inspiring to hear that you're, like, making moves, you're
girl.
doing things, you're
Oh, it's
going
been through a
towards
lot
your
of
goal.
pain and suffering, I'll tell you that much. I've been through, like, I mean, and I'll share it with my Joy Tribe at some point. I've been through a lot these last 4 months,
Right.
not just Scientology. And someone said, have I been fair gamed? Yes, I have been. So much so that I don't say where I am at. I just
Right.
don't talk to a lot of people. And I mean, I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I just want to be safe
Yeah.
and want to make sure I'm not stupid. Right. But
Mhm.
yeah, it's also it I'll tell you what got me to this point is feeling the pain and doing it anyways, going through the pain. And I can't say it's for everybody, but I can say go after your dreams, because I'm about to embark on a massive, like I'm getting my bachelor's degree. When I say finishing up my bachelor's degree, it's not like I ever started it. I started it last year, I'll be honest with you, and I'm finishing it up this year. I'm taking it online. I'm doing online courses with the Bonafide University, and I'm just kicking ass. Like I just did
That's very
criminology
intensive.
yesterday.
Yeah.
Super intensive.
Yeah.
And I had a lot of tragedy hit last year, and which I'll share one day with you guys. And it made me rethink everything.
Yeah.
And it actually became a blessing, because I'm like, okay, well, what matters? You know, I'm 39,
Right.
I'm gonna be 40, which I love that. And I'm like, well, what matters? You know, it's like I could start a whole new career now, take my audience with me, still be the artistic, crazy, fun person, and then help people in a way that's really like clinical, that can really help. That's what I was trying to do in Scientology. That's what kept me there. Right? That's what we all wanted to do. When you audit someone, you want to help somebody using the e-meter, using all these tools you think are going to help get somebody out of their trauma, and you want to see lives bettered. That's what we all want as humans. I do believe people are inherently good and want to help others. And unfortunately, evil Scientology takes advantage of that. And that doesn't mean we don't get back up, though. You know, David and Goliath, you know, it's okay. You can get rid of whatever your Goliath is, take a swing, take a step out in faith, because you can achieve those things. I say that to myself. And I say, what I've learned, done a lot of research, is you will never be fully satisfied if you don't go after the thing you've always wanted.
Agreed.
Like career-wise, especially as women, we let things get in our way, raising a family, all those things, super important. It's nothing more important than children, raising the family. I mean, there's nothing that's so important. That's important for our future. Those are people. But that doesn't mean your desires should be pushed aside. You know, if you want to be a lawyer, a doctor, I just talked to a lawyer, a friend of mine. She went back to law school, I think it was at 48. She went to law school. I say back as if, you know, because that makes it sound like, oh, you started, and some people go back and they should. Some people never had it. They just had a dream. So what? Career change it. Go back. You're going to be 50 anyways. You might as well be 50 and a doctor or a lawyer or master's degree or PhD or a therapist or clinical license, whatever. And you could work online. You know, you could do online. And also I think you'd be absolutely fantastic at it, no matter what you do. You know, you've already achieved a bachelor's degree is a big deal.
Took me a long time, which is fine. I'm proud. I mean, I'm proud of myself. Yeah. It took me 8 years. I got my associates and I left and I went back, and So when I hear you going through it in such a short period, I'm like, I know how much work it is. I know how much time it takes. And I know how much you have to really want it, and you have to grind for it, and you have to pay for it. And, you've got it takes a lot, and there's a lot, there's struggles on the way, but they make you stronger and make you
better.
They
do. And embracing the struggles, I honestly embrace it. I say, like, my faith has gotten me through so much, and I just say, God, you're putting me through these tests for a reason, and I just have to relax. You know, I can't fight it. You know, I've had so many dips, financial, emotional, physical. And I just, at a point, I just go, okay, it's fine. This is what's going on. Many other people are going through this. They get through it. Like, I try to talk myself out of it, and then go touch grass, go outside.
Gotta touch grass. Yep.
You have to, because if you are chronically online, like, I don't even watch the news. I know the world is burning and we're going to war with every single country. I don't care. I'm not into it. It has nothing to do with my life. That's distraction. You know, I pray for those people. I pray for the situation politically and everything. But I can't be so involved. I will lose myself. That's what happened. You know, I don't want to say this like it comes off as victim blaming, but this is my self-awareness. I am prone to becoming chronically involved in other people's ish. You know, like that's what Scientology was. It's like, oh, I'm into that. And then even MAGA, like, oh, I'm into that. And like, oh, it's even, oh, my husband's like, oh, I'm into that, or that person, I'm into that. Right. It's like you get so involved that projects I've worked on, the film,
Right.
I've gotten real attached. Because of my attachment is I didn't have parents. I'm an adult orphan. I lost my parents around 22.
Mhm.
So it's like I get attached easily.
Mhm.
And the Bible says, guard your heart, right? It doesn't say
Mhm.
close your heart, but guard your heart. Not everybody needs you to be attached to save the world and I'm going to help them and I'm
Yeah.
happy, everything's fine. It becomes an obsessive disorder where I'm
Yeah.
working to avoid my pain, just
Yeah.
like any other drug, alcohol, drugs, whatever,
Mhm.
sex, all of this stuff can take the place of it. And I have learned in the past 6 months a lot, past 4 months, honestly, sit and cry since leaving Scientology, because Scientology was a crutch for me, go to the
Mhm.
session, go talk to Scientologists, and
Yeah.
they'll feed you full of lies and love, and oh yeah, you're so great, oh yeah,
Come up tone, come into present time.
yeah, it's just almost, I'm in, I'm here. Yeah, it's so woo woo. It's so BS. And they have the nerve to make fun of people with crystals or the people who go to church and be like, they have the nerve to think they're better than anyone else when it is
Right.
the most woo woo, new age, flim
Right.
flam, nothing scientifically proven
Right.
sugar pill religion that there can possibly be. Actually, I
Right.
wish it was just that. That's like a MLM or a group or like a group that you belong
More
to.
benign. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish it was just that. That's
Yeah.
actually evil. It's that on the outside with evil
Right.
dead man's bones on the inside.
That's right.
Whitewashed tomb.
Yeah. That's that's so I mean, that's just so well put. I feel like I'm also gonna use that dead man's bones on the inside.
Yes.
I'll have to get it just right. So I'm
You
quoting it
should.
right. But
Yeah, I'll send it to you. I'll
that's
send you the scripture. You can
yeah,
read it. It's really
that
good.
is
It's spicy. You're like, oh shoot. This is
right,
the Jesus
right.
they
Well,
taught me about. Okay,
right.
let's
Well, and I'm
go.
kind of in a similar place, I mean, politically, as far as I'm just tired. I'm tired of the world. I'm tired of everything. And all of my research and all of my deprogramming and studying and everything learning about um, control and trauma, I choose not to participate in a lot of what's going on in the world and the news right now because I do think there is an element designed to distract and upset. And I want to be informed, but I don't want to be at the mercy of I mean, it's upsetting. You're scrolling through and it's like
It's
some
so
Epstein thing and
upsetting.
then a vacation and then some eyeshadow and then, genocide and like it's a lot.
And
So
here's how I use cottage cheese, protein shakes, and then, yeah,
exactly,
murder.
exactly. And for me, I find that there's a balance that if I start consuming too much content and I'm not creating, like, and it doesn't have to be like some big art thing. I could even just be weeding my garden or, making food for my family. There has to be a balance. And I find that when
Yes.
I get to the point where I'm like the Johnny Depp Amber Heard trial, I was carrying my phone around my entire all day
That
long.
sucked you in? That
Yeah,
was
and I
your
was like
life.
setting it down on the washing
Woo!
machine and like putting
They
laundry in
got
and
you.
then
They
like
got you with that one, right?
yeah, I
There's
was, like,
always
walking around
something.
the
One of
grocery
these things
store.
is like
Yeah, and
the
I couldn't
psychosis that develops from this media. It sucks
yes,
you in. That's what people are,
and
like, obsessed with celebrity drama, obsessed with
exactly.
reality TV shows. Oh my gosh, did you see what they're doing? Oh, it's like, what is that? That's not even your life. It's not even
I
your
know, but it's so hard to find that balance because it's like you want people to get the message and be
Yeah,
interested in, but at the
yeah.
same time, I don't know, it's
Well,
the world of
especially because you
activism.
are a media influencer. You're a leader online, and I have to say, so I think for you, I'm just not to assume it, but you probably feel like you have a responsibility, right, to talk about some of these things because it's happening.
I do, yeah, I do, especially when I see Scientology promoting moms and children. Because they do that a lot, like, they're
Oh,
promoting, "Oh, moms are going OT, and,
oh,
this mom
so
has a
sad.
4-year-old and a 6-year-old," or whatever, and
Yeah.
that's the part that really bothers me, because in my heart, I do believe that those moms don't wanna hurt their kids. I do believe
No,
those
they don't.
Scientology
Yeah.
moms don't want to
No.
traumatize and hurt their children. I think they just don't know, and that makes me really upset.
Yeah,
Um,
but that's also part of your activism. I think choosing, like you said, balance, it's so true. I can absolutely agree with you on that because you have to choose what you put your attention on, right? What you
yeah,
put your attention on grows larger. This is true. This is like what we're focused on becomes our world. And if you are
Exactly.
focused on the news, like I can't do anything about the Epstein files right now. I can't do anything about
I
it. I'm
can't
so
do much
mad.
about it
I'm
either.
so pissed about it.
Mm,
Like, why aren't we releasing the names? Why aren't we putting people in
right.
jail? I can tweet until my face is blue, and then that's it. What else is gonna happen? I can do it's just talking about it, and then I have studies. I'm too busy. Like, I'm going through school right now. I'm trying to graduate. I'm
Mhm,
obsessed with that, right? I have a prayer life. I still have
mhm,
relationships I need to nurture. I still have my health I need to nurture.
mhm.
Like, there's only so much space you can have.
Yeah,
Mental space is um so underrepresented, like it's so undervalued. I feel like
right.
attention, your attention, I don't say attention units as a Scientology term, but it is such a good descriptor. Like
Yeah,
that's our like, okay, psychology terms. I want to like relearn the language. I'm not using
right.
psychology terms, because it's unfortunately they have such a good way of explaining certain things,
Some things,
which
yeah.
they ripped off of engineering and psychology and
Right.
psychiatry and medical. Everything that he said was bad, they
Yep,
actually rip off. And when you
right.
learn that, you feel so ripped off by Scientology. I feel like all of this stuff, if I would have actually been learning real behavioral terminology and real things, like I said, like we talked about, I would have been a PhD right now. I could be teaching at a university. I could be
Right.
working at a hospital. I could have been, but that's not to regret because
Right.
all of that real life experience, everything you went through, I went
Mhm.
through as PESs, right? As our
Yeah,
executive degree in
right.
Scientology, as trained auditors, I went
Mhm.
all of that. Still, it still was blood, sweat, and tears that we went through. It may not have been
Yeah,
the correct subject. It may,
right.
and I want to say on your touch on your point, Scientologists, most of them are not bad people. They are people who are
Right.
lied to. Like those moms, they're not evil people like, oh, I'm going to put my child in a room with an e-meter.
Right.
No, they think my
No.
child has problems. I need to help
Right.
them. And I'm going to go to my church, which is telling me this is going to help them. So I will
Right.
mortgage my home to help my
Mhm.
child. They're actually some of the best people. And Scientology
Yeah.
preys on the best people: doctors, chiropractors,
Mhm.
moms, dads, community leaders, faith
Mhm.
leaders, ministers, like top level people, not just science celebrities. That's the ones you hear about, but
Right.
the regular everyday folks. Somebody asked me, she said, it's my client, she said, do normal people join Scientology? And I said, yes, but they have a hard time because you are pushed to excellence in Scientology. So by
Mhm.
normal, you mean just like 9 to 5, not trying to really like be great in life, just get by. You're
Right.
going to have a hard time in Scientology.
Yeah.
Most of those people drop off. By abnormal, we mean people who have this driving force inside them that they are trying to fill with
Right.
all of the praise that's heaped on you, all of the encouragement, like you want a military style, like almost you work in New York at the stock exchange, push you to excellence.
Right.
Yeah, because you won't
Right.
be normal for long. And I loved, I craved that. I
Mhm.
love the discipline. I'm like, yeah, make me work 12 hours a day to be the best that I can be until it
Mhm.
almost killed me. Right? You
Mhm.
love it until it almost kills you. And it's not like you're working to be a doctor or a lawyer where those people in
Right.
those type of specialties, nurses, a mom has to stay up all night with her kid. Like that's for a purpose. And it's
Right.
going to end at some point. So you'll
Right.
be willing to do that. Working hard is good.
Mhm.
But Scientology, it never ends. Like they're telling you
No.
it's a billion years. Like you
Right.
guys to come back after you die and rejoin and do it again. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And they make
Within
everybody
21 years. You
come
only have
back.
21 years to come back after your
Yeah.
lifetime, or you
You
can get
get
in trouble.
yes.
You
Isn't
show
that
up at
crazy?
22, ethics,
Ethics. You had
big
a 20,
trouble.
yeah, people don't know you had a 21-year break in between Sea
Yeah.
Org. And by the way, they expect you to follow that whether you matriculated, as they use in the medical school, but whether you went into the Sea Org or not. If you
Right.
sign that contract, it's a contract. Like you're a
Mhm.
Sea Org member, honorary or not. Like
Right.
that's because in the UK, that's what they told me. They would get people to sign the contract. I said, but that person, like, didn't they do LSD? They said, we don't care. We just want people to sign the contract. It's like it's
Mhm.
a postulate.
Yep.
We'll figure it out because a lot of people did LSD, which is a disqualifier for the Sea Org, by the way. People don't know.
Yeah.
Even though L. Ron Hubbard was on high on LSD when he wrote like everything, right?
Right.
So like
Right.
rules for the
That's why he doesn't want you to do LSD.
yeah, he doesn't want you discovering
One good
Venus.
trip listening to some Pink Floyd and it'll all fall apart.
Those volcanoes are just appearing in front of your very eyes. Those volcanoes with the thetans, the bubbles, the ice. I
Exactly.
I spoke on stage and revealed all of that stuff. And people were like, that's what Scientology believes? I said, yeah, that this evil alien warlord captured all of us trillions and trillions of years ago and put us in a volcano, right? And then we exploded out. We were in ice, and then pieces, we and other thetans, other spiritual people without bodies clumped together, and they're still attached to us to this day. And you have to go through a process to talk to them. And they're sometimes in groups, clusters, or sometimes single, and get them to go find a new body. That's the OT levels. And once all the little bodies on you are gone, you're now fully an operating thetan and have your full superpowers. And you are like God. You are godlike. That's OT levels. I just saved everybody, $500,000.
Thank you. Everybody send her at least half that.
Yeah,
cash app as well.
It's expensive. Cash app.
Okay, maybe this is too far in the weeds, but so I was not raised with the Bible. I don't know much about the Bible at all. But this story of the Nephilim has been coming up a lot in like my social feeds and different things. And from what I understand, were they disembodied and then were, according to this whatever book they're in, were they wandering the Enoch? Thank you. And that is actually my great grandfather on my dad's side's name, which I thought was interesting. Anyway, do you think there's a correlation there at all between these Nephilim who are supposed to be disembodied and like roaming?
Very good question. I love this. Okay, this is Liz's mind. Like, please, girl, get your PhD or whatever. Because you need to be like, your mind is so dense in the best way possible. And I just say about Scientology, I'm going to say this is another open loop, but I got to say this. The thing I realized, I had this cognition about Scientology, is that it actually activated my mind, right? Because on the outside, I'm like this artist, whatever. People don't know me. They see my Grammys pictures. They think I'm an airhead. I don't care. I've been in Hollywood. It's like, oh, she's wearing red lipstick. She must be an airhead. Whatever.
She can't be smart.
Yeah, she can't be smart and pretty and colorful. Like, that's like, you're supposed to be like a nerd. Like, I'm young Sheldon. Like, what? Anyways. Like, you have to be a white dude who's just like pimples and I'm like, Queen Dexter. I'm like, what? Is that what you really? It's like, it's so stupid. But I went along with that a lot. And so I did not pursue a lot of more intellectual, highly intellectual pursuits, because it was easier for me to do art, and I'm good at it and I love it. Performing art, especially. So I'm an artist. It's not like I just did it, but it was also people accepted that more easily. Right. But Scientology was very heady, philosophically, intellectually. Like, this is the good part of it, of an evil organization. But this is one thing that I learned, and other people in Scientology I admire. You learn to read a dictionary, you learn to study, you learn to get massive amounts of data, books this thick you have to get through in weeks or months, right? And you are forced to do this. But again, it disciplines you and I'm very good at study. I was in AP advanced classes in high school. I graduated 2 years early through homeschooling. I took an advanced placement course. Like, I was very good, but I was not pushed to go to college. Otherwise I would have been there. So Scientology, and they tell you it's a spiritual college. It really is. You're studying BS and witchcraft, but it is you are so focused, and you have to replicate what you do. You have to be able to do a practical and theory. And every Scientologist goes through this to greater or lesser degree. And I did it to the greatest degree. That's why I was like, I want to be a CS, a case supervisor, because that's like even higher than an auditor. And I want to get the highest, degrees that you can for the learning, for the love of the thirst of knowledge. And that was what Scientology took a lot of the place in, the intellectual mental stimulation. Because you also, Dianetics is to do Dianetics as a Dianetic auditor, you have to learn basically chemistry.
Right.
What I mean is, like, did you become a Dianetic auditor?
I did not. I barely got through the freaking basics of like doing the Dianetics course, because I had never read it my whole life. But there are a lot of.
It's this big.
It is.
So 300.
And there's a lot of like times, like current time science to learn. And the thing about Scientology, I'm just gonna throw this out there really quick to everybody in the audience, is you have to, if there's a word or a concept you don't understand, you have to learn what it is. And sometimes that will take you down a rabbit hole, and you will end up learning other very useful information, words, historical
Yeah.
things, all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff in that path that has nothing to do with Scientology
Yeah,
also.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, exactly. And so, but I say all that to say, I will get to the Nephilim question because I do have
No,
an
you're
answer
fine.
for that.
Yeah.
But it it's like my muscles were stretched intellectually, and like, okay, so Dianetic auditing, you have to, if A happens, you have to apply B, and there's letters and you have to apply. It's like this crazy puzzle. And they got normal people through that. I was like, these people, I struggled through it, and I'm a good student, but I had breakdowns often. Also, they force you to do it. You don't have a lot of food breaks. They don't care. They say, oh yeah, get your rest, but you can lie and be like, yeah, I got 8 hours, and they know that. They don't care really. They care
Right.
about you getting through. They care about the stats. They stat push, even though supposedly you're not supposed to, but they get you through. You got to get through by this date, by L. Ron Hubbard's birthday, by this, like, it's such a
Right.
push. So you were pushed through as if you're freaking becoming a surgeon, but it's just paying money for their bull crap. But you are so mentally pushed and elastic, like your brain becomes so elastic to taking in massive amounts of information. And I love that. So I just want to say for you, Liz, you've done that and you're good at that. And you have massive amounts of information and knowledge. I think it would be a shame if you didn't use that towards a degree, because I feel like that's like a cakewalk for you, a higher degree, just to get it. When you write your next book, it's like PhD. You know what I mean? So it's like a FU to Scientology. You know, I just feel like as girls, this is our time. Like, become the smartest. Like, what if every ex-Scientologist woman was like a PhD?
Right.
And we're like, yeah, by the way, because also they don't listen to victims, but they listen to people who are experts in the field.
Yes.
As victims we are, but sometimes we got to get that schooling to be like, pay attention to me. I am a licensed clinical therapist. And then they're like, oh, right. It sucks, but it's a game. Okay. Nephilim. Nephilim in the Bible. So in the book of Genesis, it talks about angels that came down and looked at women and saw them as beautiful. Right? The daughters of men were human women and lusted after them. So we know angels can commit sins. They obviously get cast out of heaven when they do, just like Satan was an angel, the highest order of angel, and he wanted to be God. So he got cast out of heaven. And so 1/3 of the angels went with Satan. So they became demons. Some people don't believe they became demons. They became other beings, but for the sake of language, they became demons.
Okay.
Right? Which are evil angels. They're not angels anymore. They're now demonic. They work for Satan rather than for God. And angels are God's messenger. Just angel means messenger of God. Okay. So, and there's different statuses of angels. It's like there's different statuses of demons in heaven and hell. It's very organized. God is not the author of chaos or confusion. So these angels looked at humans and saw them as gorgeous, because we are, and mated with us. Not me, not us, but mated with women. They literally mated and got the women pregnant. And so, of course, they were cast out of heaven for that. So we have human women pregnant with angel babies, and the babies that came from those women from that, because it was an unholy, God-ordained alliance, were monsters called Nephilim. They were massive giants. They were
giants.
10 feet tall. They were giants. That's why Goliath was a Nephilim. He was 12 feet tall or something, 20 feet tall. That's who David battled. So the Nephilim were massive, huge, and they also had some supernatural powers, but they were evil. They were not good because of it was brought through sin. So they had supernatural strength, and so they were twisted human hybrid, angel hybrids, and that's what the Nephilim were and are. Some people still believe that the Nephilim bloodline still exists, and it was a form of, it was the worst kind of witchcraft and ritualistic combining to create kind of like a godlike being. Now, L. Ron Hubbard wanted to create a godlike being. He even did a Babylon 666 working ceremony, ritualistic witchcraft ceremony, to create, where he had sex with a woman who was, actually, what's his name, Jack Parsons' girlfriend, and they were doing weird sex blood rituals to try to create the Antichrist. That was L. Ron Hubbard's Luciferian beliefs. He was a Luciferian through the core. He believes Lucifer was the good guy, and Lucifer is another name for Satan. That was his angelic name. It means bringer of light. So lus meaning light in Latin.
Mhm.
So satanic, straight up satanic, as satanic
Yeah.
as you can get,
Like, by
right?
definition, by
By
textbook, it
definition,
is satanic, yes.
satanic,
Yeah.
Satanism, and some Satanists are like, "No, I just believe in humanism." Okay, whatever. You're a poser because real Satanists believe that Satan is there
Right.
and that he's the good guy, right? And that's
Right.
what we see throughout everything. It's like bad is good is bad. You don't want to be
Right.
clean cut. You want to be a bad girl. Like it's all of this propaganda that we see stems from a lot of this belief system. And so that the Nephilim were an unholy alliance,
Mhm.
and that was Satan's attempt to try to assert authority over humans. They
Mhm.
ended up getting killed, most of them, and dying out, but some of them survived the flood. And that's
Mm.
how you see Goliath, and he had three brothers, or two or three brothers. So there was still many Nephilim that survived, but
Mhm.
very few. I think that it is real in the weeds. I think Bigfoot is a Nephilim. I think there's a Nephilim out there just living his life as Bigfoot.
Interesting.
He's wearing,
Okay.
fur coats because he's got to kill. He can't buy clothes at Walmart. He can't go to Neiman
Okay.
Marcus. So he's
Yeah.
covered in fur, and I think that's a Nephilim. They are Nephilim bloodline that does still exist. There's people who claim to have Nephilim bloodline, and it
Okay.
is satanic. You have to break those curses. You have to unspeak those curses. It's genetic cursing, and you can. It's not a permanent disability forever. So does that have to do with the Xenu lore of Scientology? Similar, because the idea of spiritual warfare in Christianity is that demons can attach to you. They can be
Mhm.
oppressive. Some people can be possessed, but most people
Right.
are oppressed by dark thoughts, suicidal ideations, and evil things, and like compulsions you can't deny and get rid of.
Right.
Scientology says that those are disembodied people that you have to talk
Mhm.
to and tell to leave. Well, Christianity says no, those are demons. Those are
Mhm.
spirits that attach to you that you can tell to leave in the name of Jesus. And
Right.
that's deliverance ministry. Exorcism is with a Catholic priest. It's more for possession. It's a different type of rite or ritual, but very
Mhm.
similar.
Mhm.
Deliverance, you can pray and say, I release you, spirit of depression, leave my body in the name of Jesus, and it has to
Mhm.
go. So that's
Okay.
what I practice. I'm a deliverance minister. I practice that. I've had deliverance. It has healed me of so much. In that
Interesting.
way, it's similar to what Scientology teaches. Scientology bastardizes it, right? And says
Mhm.
you have to pay. You don't have to pay for deliverance. You never have to pay for that. In fact, it's free. You go to
Right.
the fearlessjoyfoundation.org, which is my organization, nonprofit, and I have a deliverance manual there. I help Christians and non-Christians, but I have a deliverance manual. Speaking a prayer out aloud scientifically is proven to help, right? And this actually does spiritually gets rid
Mhm.
of a lot of that influence.
Mhm.
Miracles happen, but it's free. You cannot charge for
Mhm.
that. There's no way you can sell that because
Mhm.
how? But Scientology charges for this, and they
Right.
call it processing, they call it auditing, they call it OT levels. And
Right.
so they do rip off that. Now, the Nephilim, probably he did read the Bible. I know he did because he quotes scripture in some of his things when I would
Right.
study. Oh, randomly this is, but he laughs it off and says, "Oh, Jesus was only clear. He wasn't even OT, and actually he's the bad one, and Satan is the good one." I mean, he was off in
Right.
the weeds, witchcraft, real, but he believed in God. He believed in Jesus. Even Satan believes in Jesus, but he didn't
Right.
follow him. So yeah,
Right.
rip it off absolutely because Lucifer, Satan can only pervert, not create.
Mhm.
So it is
Mhm.
based off of any. I mean, L. Ron Hubbard said that. Oh, we based off the Vedic scriptures and this.
Right.
We found the truth. So he's a shameless ripoff artist too. And so
Yeah.
that in that way, yeah, not direct Nephilim, but yeah, if Nephilim are disembodied spirits, demonic spirits that came in, which yeah, they are. And then you have Thetans on your body. They're disembodied spirits that you have to talk
Mhm.
to. Bizarre.
Yeah. It feels like there's some weird similarity. Plus, I've been doing my art project, and I'm on my part of the art project where I'm actually putting together the board, as I call it, like the visuals
Oh.
of the Babylon working. And again, not knowing about the Bible, I actually didn't realize that the Whore of Babylon is a biblical, I don't
Yep.
wanna say creation, but reference is
Yeah.
a better
Yeah.
word, and that is what who that was the intention of the magic practices then the Babylon working
Yeah.
was to,
It's in the book of Revelation in the Bible.
well, and I've been printing out pictures. She's like, what is she? She's
Oh,
got like an 8-headed beast she rides on, and she's
yes.
like
It's
drunk on
graphic.
fornication and stuff. I'm like, okay,
Yes.
okay, all right,
Yes. And
please.
many theologians are saying, because the Revelation is the book of Bible that hasn't happened yet. It's a future
Right,
prediction, a
okay.
vision to John that he received, a vision with details. And so he wrote it down, and it's symbolic. So many theologians and Christians have to try to decipher, is the whore of Babylon
Right.
a nation? Is that where America will eventually go to? Because there's symbols.
Gotcha.
There's also like the yellow army. Like, is that Asia? Is that China? Like, there's symbols in Revelation. Revelation is my favorite book of the Bible. And I
Is
studied
it?
it when I was a kid. Yes. I don't know everything about it. Like, I'm a student of it. But
Okay.
yes, it's in there. And there's some beautifully graphic imagery in there. And many people believe the whore of Babylon is nations coming together to basically get everything ready for the Antichrist, right? Which will
Right.
be the satanic person who comes as like the second, like the Jesus. And
Right.
that's what Elwood Hubbard said. He wants to stop Jesus from coming back because Satan is the real one, the good one. And Elwood Hubbard claims he's the Antichrist. Like,
Right.
what? That's OT8. That's your top
Yeah.
level. What? I didn't do that level because they wouldn't let me on that level.
Right.
They didn't let me on my OT levels
They
because
would
they
have
knew
kept you in limbo your whole life. They would have
they
just
would have.
dangled that carrot and said, work harder, be better, be
Yep,
shinier, get more people in,
yep,
do more. And
yep.
they never would have let you because they would have
That's what
known.
got me out because I
Yeah.
felt I was like, I will work to the bone for years for an achievable goal. I will do that. I am a hard worker. I'm my
Right.
father's daughter. He was military ministry. But if you tell me it's never achievable, I just ended up going, something's wrong. And I
Right.
perceived that something was off on my superpower, which is this really big $20,000 rundown that they touted as like the solver of everything. And it was, different. At flag only rundown. I did my L's. I did everything I could do to try to get me all my training allowed to the OT levels. But like you said, they would have kept dangling that carrot because I was Christian, because they knew once I discovered and read those materials,
Right.
I would blow. I would
Right.
leave. I would 100% not just think it's weird. I'd go, what? No. What?
Right.
Like I would leave. And I would have left. That would have been the 10th straw because I never came across Xenu or anything. I never read any of that stuff. I would read some conflicting things, but my programming, and I was programmed, and I programmed myself, and they programmed me to say, oh, nothing in Scientology is against Christianity. You can be a Christian and a Scientologist. What they told me for years and years and years, until I'm at St. Hill, and I was let on to my OT1. Well, not OT1. I did my solo prep. So I was supposed to do my solo levels. I was in the freaking place. I got my training. You get your training. I got signed everything. I was about to start the solo auditing process, which then the next step would be OT1. And they pulled me back off of it and said, I need to do more training. And see, something in me was like, what? And I thought, it's St. Hill. There's something wrong. Well, actually, I thought it was Los Angeles. Then I thought, so then I went to Africa and they wouldn't let me continue in the AO. They said, no, you have to train. So then I went to St. Hill because St. Hill's like, no, of course, you're Joy Vila. Well, they tell you whatever, right? And then so I went to St. Hill. I was going around the world, losing all my money and my mind.
Right.
To do this, living off credit cards because I wasn't working during COVID. You can't produce films and sing and do public speaking. I was making very little bit of income and spending all of it at Scientology and living expenses in the UK. It was crazy. They would have, I would have literally, and I would have probably married another Scientologist who was OT, and I would have just, I don't know, waited around for GAT 3, where I had to redo my training. Like they would have just kept me going with more things. And I would have been like, oh, I guess open a mission, right? Open something. Oh, then they'll let me in. I know people who literally opened missions and started charities trying to get on their OT levels.
Yeah.
A former friend of mine did that.
The more you want it, the more they'll make you
Yeah, just
work
donate
for
another
it.
million.
Yeah.
Just keep going. Just get, like you said, 100,000 more. Get 100 people more on the bridge, and they can keep you until you give up. I don't know what their end game is. Satan always overplays his cards. Right?
Mm,
Always. He's not that smart because
mm,
Scientology completely overplayed their card. If they would have just let me on my OT levels, like why not stop me before OT3, right? Like why not drag it off a little? But when I could not even get on my OT levels, which they kept telling me is the number one thing that's going to solve all your problems, like no matter what, you got a flat butt, OT levels, you got
right.
pimples, OT levels, you're single, OT levels, like, cause over matter, energy, space, and time. Like I got my freaking tattoo. I am cause. I can't wait to get this covered
Nice.
up or changed because this was on my OT preps to remind myself I am cause. No,
Right.
God is cause. Like, how can I be cause over everything? Like that's you're responsible for everything. Do you ever read that reference in
Yeah. That was
advanced?
drilled into me my entire life. I had to cram and word clear and responsibility and pandeterminism my
Come on,
entire life. I think, honestly, to
girl.
this day, I still am
Dramatic.
pretty sure that everything is my fault.
That's the lasting trauma. Your
And if I'm
PTS.
sick, you throw a fever on there, man.
Girl, no,
I
Scientologists getting sick, it's a whole thing for
Yeah,
us. It's a whole
it's
ex-Scientologist, but when we
dangerous.
were, it was a whole thing where you are constantly,
Mhm.
because they tell you, it's your fault.
Right.
Advanced procedures and axioms, sounds so
Yep.
legit. And then you read this
Axioms
reference.
is from Aleister Crowley.
Is
Ac
it?
Aleister Crowley, who, just in case anybody doesn't know, we're talking about the occult, we're talking about
Mhm.
where L. Ron Hubbard learned the occult, was through his teachings anyway. It goes back way further, but yeah, he has axioms in his book. Well, I forget which one. It might be the Book of the Law. Uh,
Wow, that's
Fascinating.
crazy.
I wanted to tell you something.
Tell me.
I will tell you now. So I told you about my art project before and my
Yes.
boards, and I've been,
Can you
like,
see
working on
anything?
it. Not now. I mean, it's hard because they're so big that I can only get one out at a time
Oh,
in my
I
workspace.
saw
Well,
it like last year, guys, which was working on it. It's amazing. It's so
thank you.
good.
It's had a few reiterations, and I think I'm on the right track now. But
This is your thesis, by the way. This is
I
like,
know. Well, and I submitted, what's the word, proposal to be a presenter at the International Cultic Studies Association. They have it's ICSA, most people might know, but they have an annual conference, and they accepted
are
me and
you?
my project.
When is this? Can I go? Can
I
anybody
mean, yeah,
go?
anybody can go. It's in San Diego. It's
Oh my
kind of a crap
God.
weekend, to be honest. It's July 1st through 4th, which I
Oh
personally found
my
rude, but that's
goodness.
fine. Um, I don't know yet. I need to coordinate with them. I'm not sure yet if
Hmm.
they'll have space for me to actually present all of my boards at once or if I'll have to do a presentation.
Yeah, like
Um,
pictures of it.
I really hope that they'll have space for me to show it because that's kind of the whole
It's the
point
whole
of
point. At
it.
least one board,
I mean,
Oh my
something, yeah.
gosh, this
Um,
is so
Isn't
big. This
that
is such a
exciting?
big
Yeah.
deal.
So I feel
Going
like
to
that's my
use.
path this year, and I get sucked away from it. I get pulled into the drama, I get pulled into this or that or
Yeah.
when just in my heart of hearts, like, when I've prayed and I've tried to be quiet enough to find, hear something or learn something, um, I do keep getting this message of, like, your art, for me to stop, minimizing it and to just really
Yeah.
understand that I'm a very specific person. I'm like Liam Neeson in my,
Yes, and
you know,
you belong in those rooms. You
I
belong in those rooms.
thank you. And
Only
I
you,
think,
Liz. Are you
well,
kidding me? You're
I appreciate
overqualified. You belong in those rooms with your art and your teaching and your history and your explanation. Are you kidding me?
thank you. Well, and I like the visual aspect and the in real life. I feel so much of our stuff is online, and I know
Mm,
most of the things on my project, people know and they've seen, but then to see it all at once is a totally different experience. So
yeah.
anyway, that was my big news. I
This
felt
is
like,
huge.
yes,
We need
and
to
I
do a
actually
video just about this with it in the title so people can know and maybe come out and see.
I know. Well, it's in, and I haven't quite figured out too, like, how much to show before.
Yeah.
anybody who's here on my channel knows I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm just waking up
You're not
every
supposed
day
to.
and
You'll
just
figure it
going
out.
for it.
You'll figure it out. Listen,
Yeah,
that's the thing.
I'll
You're not
figure it all
supposed
out.
to know it all.
But I feel like I am one step closer to that, like getting on the road and being able to, I don't know, it feels right to think about traveling around and showing art and talking more than just me being, like you said earlier, like some kind of influencer or something like, look at me, life
Yeah.
is so great
Yeah.
after this. Or
Yeah.
no, because tomorrow or after, even maybe after this live, I might curl up in a ball and cry. And I don't want to, I don't know, I don't want to fake it. You fake it till you make it, but I'm kind of over that too. So I
Yeah.
love the idea of having like art that speaks for itself sometimes.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes.
So that was
Yes.
my news.
Yes. This is our season. This is our time. It was the year of the
Yes.
snake, Chinese calendar shedding. Now it's
Yes.
fire horse. Now we go full blast, galloping. It's
Fire
time.
horse. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that's what we were getting
fire
into.
horse. I have some
Yeah.
fire horse pajamas that I got in Vegas.
Okay.
That
Magic
'cause I
made
saw it
in
at the
those.
window, the Bellagio. I took a trip to Vegas and I was like, "Oh my goodness, I need those pajamas." They have fire horses all over them. I have my
Oh my
cats,
gosh.
I love my animals, and we're fire horses just galloping forward. The year of shedding is off. We were shedding all those things we don't need.
Yeah.
Now it's time to go forward. You were made for this. You were built for this. You were created for this, Liz. Don't take no for an answer. You just keep on going with it. That's why I'm like huge on my education kick right now. I'm like, man, when you have those degrees, those little letters behind your name, you can open, it just opens more
It
doors. That's
does.
all. That's really all it is. It doesn't make you better or less or whatever, but I want to see people should be seeing your art and learning from your art. It should be everywhere. You should have books. You could have a coffee table book with it. Like it should just be a thing. It should be like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, like it should be everywhere. That's what I want to see.
That's what I'm hoping. I'm a one girl band over here, but
Yeah.
slowly but surely, yeah, we'll get there. It feels nice to jump onto the scene in something professional, like the
Yes.
Occult Studies Association. It just feels
Yes, that's legit. It legitimizes, right?
yeah,
And then, like,
yeah.
those things do matter because also educators need to see it and go, oh, and you imagine who you're going to meet there who will
That's
see
what
it and go, I want to teach a course about this, or will you come lecture? Will you come
yeah.
teach my class about? Then suddenly it just opens doors. I have a client and a good friend who is an art teacher, and she is an artist. She paints, and she's just a wild Hollywood lady. She's been on my show. And she said nobody really took her seriously because she was just like a wild artist until she got her. What do you have to get to teach? I think she has her master's degree
Yeah, master's
to be a
usually.
professor. And she's like, now
Right.
she's a professor and she works at it. And and her thesis was art. Like, it's like she's like, yeah, I went to her house. She's like, this is my thesis. And it was gorgeous art. I'm like, oh, and I'm like, what a great life. You figured out how to get legitimized as an artist. We have to figure out our tools, our ways to get in. Everybody does, because otherwise the alternative for people like us is death. 9 to 5 death. Like we would die.
Basically.
You can't live
Right.
in that life. You can't be 9 to 5 or
Yeah.
you couldn't. It would be a disaster to humanity. So this is amazing.
I'll mention that to my husband later next time we're
Yeah, tell him I can, babe.
disaster to humanity.
That's so dramatic. The
I know. No, I love it. I love it.
Whitewashed tombs, babe.
That's
Dead man's bones.
I'm gonna be throwing some serious language at him today.
He's gonna be like, "Who are you?" You're like,
Exactly.
"Oh my not." Okay.
Well, shit. My Mac just told me that my battery is gonna die, and I actually don't have my charger by here. So maybe we've been on for an hour and a half.
What a
Maybe
hater.
that's
Your
a
Mac is a
good.
hater, but
I know. I'm so glad to talk to you today. I feel like we could talk forever about
we
so many, many,
could. I
many
know.
things.
We'll do more. Thank you
I
for
would
bringing
like
me out of my
that.
retirement
Oh
for
my
2
gosh,
months. I
thanks.
wasn't on
I
social.
hope it was low pressure. I'm very inspired by you. I'm very inspired by how forthcoming you are with your beliefs and your position and your knowledge and your
Thank
where
you.
you come from. There's so much power and energy like with you and behind you. And I leave conversations with you feeling stronger and like a higher vibration than when I first got here. And
Oh my
especially going into my weekend, like this is my last day of the show, and I had promised myself that I was going to do a break from social media, at least from YouTube,
yeah.
TikTok. I can maybe make a few shorts and just have some fun,
You're
but
queen of TikTok. I
I
can't
love
even.
it. But I haven't been. It's hard anyway. Long story short, I just yeah, you're a badass. Thank you for talking to me today and
Thank
bringing that energy
you.
to me.
Oh my
Appreciate it.
gosh. Thank
Yeah.
you. The feeling is mutual, 100% mutual. When I saw Liz on Leah Remini's show, I was like, this lady is such a badass. When you told your story, I was moved to tears.
Well,
And the fact that I know you in real life is just like proof there's a God. I'm like, this is so awesome. Like, this is my friend now. Because
I
your
love it.
story is incredible, what you've been through and your story will continue. Our stories continue. It's not just, I mean, I feel like the Grammys was a year ago. I text you that. I was like, I really feel like I've moved on. And it was only 20 days ago, 21,
Not even
25
a month
days ago. Not even a month ago. And I'm already like, what's
ago.
next? What's next? But yeah,
That's
yes, joyvillafitness.com,
Oh,
joyvillafitness.com.
yeah, I actually can show also this is your website. Let me see if I can show it
Thank you. Yes, get
on
Liz's book. I have your book in my Amazon
how do I
checkout.
do this? You
I
wanna
need
say
to order your book and read it. It is on my list because Liz is just, oh yeah, that's
Okay,
my
so here's
website.
yep,
There's my,
joyvila.com, just how
that's
it's
right. That's right.
spelled. And, wait, I'm going all over the place. So everything for her is here from the book, the fitness, the music, the films, the videos, the gallery, pictures, and contact.
That's right.
What I don't see on here is your YouTube channel, but people can find
Oh,
you
I need to have my YouTube channel. It's
and
true.
you
And
can find
now
your book.
on the book, I've taken it off of the pre-order. Isn't
Okay.
that crazy? Art that I did AI with that, but that's
Oh,
look. I had somebody design the cover, but the second look is something that's how Scientology felt.
right.
It felt like I was wearing, and I'm like forced to smile. It was like literally there was a metal gauntlet on my face, like this with claws, like making me like this. That's how it felt that when I finally got out and I was like, that was a vision I had. So I had AI created. I was like,
I love it.
crazy, isn't it? But yeah, but the book is
Will you
off
talk
the
about your book
shelves.
for a second while I grab my charger? How about that?
Yes. So the book is off the
Wait, how do I do this?
shelves. It's
Yeah, you
still
talk.
written. I'm re-editing it because I prayed and God wanted me to take it off the shelves now. And so it was for pre-order on Amazon, but good things are I am talking to a publisher and it may be with a major publisher. So we shall see. But go to joyvilla.com and go to joyvillafitness.com if you just want to fast track into signing up with me to be your we get a free consultation. If you go to joyvillafitness.com, you can sign up and get on my calendar and get a free, it's like a 20-minute talk about your fitness goals, your desires to see if I can help you because I do have programs for men and women, 6-month year programs to help people lower their A1C cholesterol levels, diabetes, pre-diabetes, lowering it, helping with nutrition, counseling, and fitness. So, and I can work with anybody around the world. So very cool. Joyvilla Fitness, joyvillafitness.com.
I
I
need
like
actually all of that, but
yeah, I know the
we'll
cover's
get there.
awesome. Right, I hired an illustrator to make that cover. I love that one. That was a vision too. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Blow
Love
Drill,
it.
Jojo, Lupita, my music. Yeah, my music's on there too. Miss Sunshine. This is what are your lizards? Your lizards?
Oh, Lord.
Your Galens? How do you call your
We I have not named I just call them chat.
lizards? I'm sorry, I just came up with that. I'm like,
No, I love
the
it.
lizards. The lizards.
You
I
guys can
would
be
do that.
lizards with me.
What's up,
Um,
lizards?
yeah, I'm not sure we'll go there,
You're not
chat.
from Florida. That wouldn't
I'm
be a
too
Florida
weird
thing.
about it. It feels so culty to me.
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah.
"Hello, individuals with your own thoughts and minds, and
Well, they're your
I'm a fellow."
followers, you know?
I know.
Yeah.
That even is weird.
It is culty.
But I am very grateful for everybody here. I found that on YouTube here, I have a smaller community, but so involved and caring and lovely that um, I'm very grateful for every single one of them.
Yes. Someone said
Yeah.
proud lizard. See,
Ooh,
lizards.
see, that's starting to feel weird. That
We're
feels a
gonna make
little
it a
weird.
thing, guys.
I
It's a
don't know,
thing.
guys. I'll think about it. I'll
Join
think about it.
tribe and the lizards. We love you guys.
That's the lizards. Well, it's funny actually. So my husband has a nickname for me if I like am a bitch. Basically, he'll be like, "Oh, Zabeth," because I go by Liz, Elizabeth. So it's the opposite of me, like
Zaybeth.
Liz and then Zabeth.
I
Um,
love it.
and if it gets real bad, it's saber-tooth tiger.
I love your husband. He's a coot.
So maybe you guys can be my
The
saber-tooth tiger,
saber-tooth. The
saber-tooths. Yeah,
saber-tooth. Oh my
yeah.
gosh, the
So I'll think
saber-tooth
about that.
tigers. That's
If
actually
I
awesome. It's
if
like a mascot. Figure it's like a mascot. It's
it
not a
is,
cult. It's like we're a team, right? Because
right.
you don't have to pay money or, well, you just have to become a member of the channel. But you don't have to follow a certain rule. You do have to comment and like subscribe. No, I'm just kidding. Oh, okay, maybe we're a cult, but it's a good one.
RPS. I'll make you buy me things off my Amazon list if you don't click like.
Yeah. People are into that. It's called financial domination, FinDom. People,
I'm in the wrong
I know if I
industry.
wasn't a Christian woman, I tell you, we'd be making
I
all
wish I
kinds of
was a
money.
sociopath sometimes. I honestly do. I would be
We would have
nailing
killed
it.
it. In
I would
Scientology,
have been,
we'd be running the
I'd be
thing.
like, I'd
Dating
probably
the
be married to
savage.
Grant Cardone. I
Yeah.
mean,
Grant
I would have.
Cardone, 100% a sociopath. 100%. I mean, I can't wait till I can clinically diagnose these
There you
people and
go.
do it on my channel.
Boom. In
Be
your
like,
face.
look now,
See,
in your
he
face.
crashed out a little bit and
He
he
did.
talked crap about Leah Remini. And it was the funniest thing that he said about her. He basically said something like, I don't believe her or I don't want to, associate with her because she's a quitter. Like she quit Scientology. She's a quitter. Like it was so weird when I heard him say that. I was like, that's going to be your problem? That's your argument? She's a quitter? Like,
Oh
don't
my
you quit
gosh.
things that are bad?
Yeah. So what
You
about
should be a quitter too.
she'd be like, wait, didn't you used to do drugs? Because that's
I
his
know, right?
story. You're a quitter.
Yeah,
You
you're a
don't still do
quitter,
crack?
right?
You don't do crack. Oh, I don't associate with quitters. Sorry.
Don't associate with quitters. Yeah,
Sorry.
like you're
Current
dumb.
crackheads
Anyway,
only.
yeah, crackheads only,
No,
and saber-tooth tigers.
he's gonna crash out hardcore. I hope he crashes and burns. I don't really want to wish that on anyone. I actually don't hope he crashes and burns. I hope that he gets to a low point where he admits Scientology's wrong and then he gets saved and gets out of it because that would be much more powerful. I do not want anyone to fail. Look at Leah Remini. I bet so many people were like, oh, I hope she fails because she was famous as a Scientologist too.
Right.
And I would never want her to fail, would never want anyone to fail. Look how powerful she is having left and exposing them, which was 12 years ago, right? It's like, I mean, who left but didn't make a big deal about it was Beck. Beck's no longer a Scientologist.
Yeah. He hasn't been for a really long time, right?
Yeah, he was born into it.
Yeah. I think he left I thought he left a long time ago, like 10 years ago.
No, it was only like 3 years ago. No, definitely not
really?
10 because I knew his dad.
Yeah. His dad's still in, isn't he?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't know his dad now.
Yeah.
His dad worked on my first album.
Beck, you guys don't know who Beck is? Beck is a musician.
What? Who's Beck? JCL, you're fired. You're a lizard.
You are no longer a saber-tooth tiger. You have lost your stripes.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Kicked out. No, I love him.
He's a musician. He was kind of like a funky, I don't even know what right words to
He
describe
still
it.
is. He's won Grammys. Yeah.
He's got, I know you know some of his songs.
Yeah. I'm a loser, baby. So why don't you kill me?
That's right. That was a good one. There's one about orange juice too.
No. It's his famous
I don't know. I try not to go like after people who are Scientologists that are quiet about it. Like after, I try not to comment on them publicly, celebrities. But once they cross the line and they start promoting Scientology, I'm like, you invented the name Fair Game. I don't think of it quite the same.
Yeah.
But
no. I think everybody needs to leave, get out, and speak about it. I wish Beck would actually speak about it. It would be really powerful. But I also understand why he's not, because his dad is in it. He just said, I'm no longer a Scientologist. I just saw that like 2 years ago.
Okay.
So my thing is maybe he left, but he didn't speak about it, right? That's actually an SP characteristic to say that you're no longer a Scientologist publicly. You know, you
Right.
can be
A high
branded an
crime.
SP if you just, it's a high crime. Oh, by the way,
Mhm.
it's been official that I've committed high crimes.
Yeah, you are. You're a high criminal. Boom. Not a regular criminal, you're a high criminal.
High criminal. I mean, status queen, high
Right? Ooh,
criminal. All you
that's
normal
the new
crims,
OG.
you just
SP is
crimmy
the new
crim
OG.
away. That's right. I'm a high crime, high key, high
I
crime.
love it. It's like the high priestess, but she's a high crime.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. Well,
It's a
that is
good
such
title.
it is such BS because it's a high crime to publicly depart Scientology, which is like you can just go, but if you publicly depart,
Yeah,
then it's a high crime,
yeah.
which is wild.
Insanely eccentric says high and me, high and criminal.
That's what I was thinking. I was like, "I'm a high criminal. I'm high as the keg,
That's their
committing
next book.
crime."
That's your next book title.
Right. Oh my gosh. I need to get to writing actually. I don't know how you do it, how you can stay on top of all these things. It's such a
I
challenge.
have an assistant. I
Yes,
have
that must
actually
be
a
nice.
team that I hire and work with for my fitness company too, my
Yeah.
business. And then I have an assistant. She works within my company and for me, like helping out.
Yeah.
And I have to, otherwise I can't do much of anything. Well, I could do a lot, but yeah. And then I also don't really like go out. To be honest, I don't go
Right.
out. Like I don't go out. I don't have a social life in the
Mhm.
strict sense. I don't have parties or events that I go to a lot. I've given up my social life so that I can go to school and
Right.
then I can do more of that. Like, and now I've given up my online presence to do more, but I can do my online. You just gotta, something's always got to give, right? There
Yeah.
really is no balance. It's really just what's more important, your
Yeah.
hierarchy of needs, your top three non-negotiables, right? You got to put, and I don't have kids, right? So that helps. If I had kids, they'd have to be in my top
They're such a
priority.
time suck. Yeah.
And my tube's tied as we speak. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love children. I love them. I think maybe one day I will, but right now my career is my child. You know, my
Yeah.
mission is my child. It's more than a
Yeah.
career, it's a mission.
Mhm.
But you can, it also it enriches your mission if you have children to live for and work for. I mean, that's like incredible. It's just like you said, time suck, right? Everything else is part-time because the kids are
Right.
full-time.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm definitely I don't wanna say jealous, that's not the right word, but I recognize the value and one day hope to have that ability to just really focus on, like,
Yes,
what
but
you
it's always something, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, if it really was kids that held people back, then why aren't all these single people in their 20s and 30s excelling
right,
in their life career? They're not. They're just
right,
replacing the time they would be a responsible parent with
right,
getting drunk or getting
right,
high or going out or having a hot abs or whatever
right,
they're doing with their time instead. It's really not like it's not most people aren't living up to their full potential. That's why
right,
Scientology was like, "Oh my gosh, it makes you live up to your full potential." It doesn't. But if
definitely.
if you look at it, it's like something does have to give, but I think certain non-negotiables have to be in. Your health has to be number 1, your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health. Like those are
Mhm,
non-negotiables, right? You gotta take care of that because everything
mhm,
else suffers if you don't. And then the other thing is like family. If you have family and friends that you really love, your relationships, but it may not be that you can give 100% to those relationships. Mommy might be busy for a little bit,
mhm,
daddy's busy. That's okay. People who
mhm,
go to the military or go to medical school or do massive careers, they're not 100% with their family.
right,
And I don't think we should feel guilty about that because if you have
right,
a calling, you are that one voice who can do it. Like you are so unique in what you can present to the world. You really are, Liz. And so am I. And so is everybody else watching. That if that's your calling, you're going to have to make sacrifices. Even the biblical woman, people don't read the Bible who are Christians. They think biblical woman is stay-at-home mom who does nothing but cares for her husband, makes him a sandwich, and cares for the kids and cleans the house. Bible does not say that.
right,
Proverbs 31 is the ideal biblical woman. She is out in the streets negotiating prices. She has a textile business. Her husband hears of her reputation in the streets, which means she's well known. She's like an influencer, okay? She's well known.
got them textiles.
And
Yeah.
she's got textile business. So she has a
Yeah.
business. She looks at the price of a land and buys it. Wait, so she buys her with her own money. She doesn't call her husband, can I buy this? So
Hmm.
she is balling out of control with her own money, making her own negotiations with her business. And she's being a good wife because her husband hears really good things about her and like praise her in the streets, like, oh, that's your wife. Oh, she's well. So she's got a good reputation and she's a good mom and she leads the team that run her house.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, she's not even doing all the housework herself.
Right.
She's balling and
Right.
working for it. Like
Right.
that is to me an ideal woman. I do not like this whole stay-at-home wife phenomenon. Not even a mother. They're just stay-at-home wives looked at as a Christian way of life. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being stay-at-home mom. I'm stay-at-home, but I'm studying. You know what I mean? I mean,
No, I understand.
Do it at home and
Yeah.
and prioritize, homeschooling your kids and making butter and living on the farm. There's nothing wrong with that, but don't think that that's where God wants every single woman. I belong in the ministry of working with people one-on-one in the entertainment industry and in the public sphere and in major cities. That's a calling, right?
Yeah.
Like you're in that too. And you can be in it and not of it. You can be in and out and do your thing. But some of us are called to be on the broad places of the universe. And it's tough. It's really hard. There's a lot of pressure for being an online influencer. Like you guys know, Liz gets a lot of hate. So the more love you can give her and being a member of her channel, $1.50 a month, come on, for her art, support. We got to support each other. You like
inflation will get them one day, but not today.
That's right. 2 hours we've talked, almost 2 hours, right?
I know. Before we go, I have to tell you, you know what I did this morning?
What?
Before all this? And not a joke. I woke up with my husband and I made him a sandwich when he went to bed. I do it every single day.
Look at this badass making her husband a sandwich.
Yeah. Because he's a good man who works really hard and that sandwich helps him and it's something I can do for him. But yeah, it's funny when people are like,
yeah, there's nothing wrong with serving your husband. We serve our bosses all day long. Why wouldn't you serve your husband? Like a good man deserves all of that. Yeah. Absolutely. Because he's serving you. It's reciprocal. That being a strong woman. So I don't like this feminism term. I like first wave, second wave feminism. I don't like modern feminism. It's so politicized. So
I'm not a fan.
Man, hyper independence. I'm like, yeah, but you're like, if my man asked me to do anything, I wouldn't do it. But you stayed late because your boss asked you. Like what? Like you're over here and your own husband's at home not getting love. Like you got to be reciprocal and you got to see that we all have a calling. Find out your calling by working hard and being a good human, serving your fellow man in whatever you choose to do, even if that's working at Foot Locker. Be the best worker at Foot Locker you can be. Be excellent at it because someone's going to notice and you're going to end up being a manager, right? Like it's just, good work gets noticed and don't take no for an answer. Don't take any guff and just be the best you can be. And if you got to do something part-time, don't get into analysis paralysis, right? Like I get into that every single day and I have to talk myself off that hill, honestly, because I'm like, oh, there's so many ways. Like when I changed my major from biology to psychology, I was like, oh, I was like, well, listen, Joy, this is going to help you in the end. You just have to take more psychology courses, which you love to do anyways. It's going to help you in your career choice. So it's okay. You're not losing anything, right? Because I was like, oh, because I had to do a lot of labs, which would add an extra year. If I do biology, and I love labs, but I don't want to. I have all the time in the world, but I don't want to use that year. I'd rather start my year in my graduate school. So that was my choice. But I'm like, don't let anybody stop you. Don't let anybody stop you from living your life. Listen, I've been married. I've been divorced. I've gone through all kinds of careers. Still am a film producer, director. I have all these projects that are going to come out doing music. I have all these career projects that I do a lot of, author, book. But throughout it all, the one thing I've never given up is my passion for my path that God put me on. Don't ever give that up for a man, woman, anybody. Don't even give it up for your children. I don't believe in that. Yeah. Or adult, exactly. Group, club, cult. Yeah. Because that's the one thing my identity is in Christ. I'm a daughter of the King, and he put me on this earth to do the things I'm doing. So like I go after it, like my life depends upon it, and everything falls around that. That's why you being an artist with your art, like nothing comes above that. Obviously your kids got to get fed. Your husband needs to be loved on, but those things you're doing, that art is your calling and your passion. That's important.
It calls me more than the gym does. I'll tell you that.
Well, we gotta get you in the gym too,
I gotta
bro.
get on that though.
I'm on that next flight. I'm coming out. Let's go get gym training.
I love it. I do need some of that. But yeah, it's funny the things that keep calling us back.
Yes.
Can't get rid of them if we tried. Oh, I wanted to show you this. This is Power Lies to Paralyze. I will email it to you. But this is the channel that has so much e-meter information.
Oh my gosh.
Technical stuff. Things I'd never thought about before. Things that are very interesting. Yeah.
Oh, power. See, I wrote this down. It's going to be my dissertation. Is that what you call it when you write? It's going to be a peer. I do want to do a peer reviewed Power Lies to Paralyze. Wow. I'm so paralyzed and now I got to be struck by you. I want to make you move because you're standing still. If your body matches what your eyes can do, you probably look right through me on my way to you. Do you know that song?
I do, but I don't know the words. But now they're saying Breaking Scientology, so maybe I got it.
Oh,
I can find the right one and text it to you after this.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
I don't want to get it all wrong, but thank you.
All of this is good. Oh my gosh.
I think that
I love it. My computer's dying too. We better go before it doesn't save. Yeah. I love you so much, girl.
I love you. Thank you for chatting with me. Thanks for this. I'm going to go on with my bad self and you are too. And I will catch you next time. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Beautiful. Bye, everybody. Joy Tribe. And the saber-toothed tigers.
The saber-toothed tigers. Oh my gosh. Not just my husband will get a kick out of that, but pretty much all of our college friends. They remember saber-tooth. They partied with saber-tooth.
I think we should just say the saber-tooths. That way it's like
the saber-teeth. Okay, too far. Goodbye.
Bye.
She knows herself, she finds her way. Through art and joy, she shapes each day, crafting beauty from the past, healing wounds, peace at last. With each move, she finds her voice. In art and life, she makes her choice. Living true, living free.